All right, so I gotta get my thoughts out as a Panthers fan out on the Packers and the Panthers game. And you can laugh all you want. And you know what happened to the Saints this past week, right?
But
What
we
happened to
got
them
Super
Sunday?
Bowl hopes. We got Super Bowl hopes though.
Maybe
Y'all
not for
don't.
long.
Y'all
Just saying. Maybe
after
not for
after
long because Atlanta, they bust y'all. I mean,
after
they
losing
were
one
pressuring y'all like crazy.
game.
Uh, Grady Jarrett and Vic Beasley, them
How about
Clemson
we ask
cats were
Cam?
getting on it.
How about we ask Cam?
Ask Cam. Well, Cam would have won us this game. All right, so the Packers and the Panthers played, and the Packers won 24-16. And if you watch that game, it ended in such a predictable fashion. Such a predictable fashion. We get stopped on 4th and goal at the 1 yard line. We try to hand it off to McCaffrey, and he gets stopped. I can't blame that play call with what we have, but I can blame with the position that our organization has put us in with what we have. So Kyle Allen, I'm still not buying in. I'm still not impressed. He showed a little bit more in the game. He went 28 of 43, 307 yards, one touchdown, one pick, 7.1 yards per attempt, but 36.5 QBR. I mean, he made some throws late in the game to put us in position to go score. But man, you cannot tell me that, and we'll get to the Packers side for all you Packers fans later into the segment. But you cannot tell me as an NFL fan, if you watch the NFL, you cannot tell me that if we had Cam Newton, that he couldn't make some of those same throws that Kyle Allen made, and that when we got to the 1 yard line on a 4th and goal, you can't tell me he wouldn't have won that game, or at least tied the game up by going in and scoring from the 1 yard line by just QB powering it. You can't tell me that. Are you going to try and tell me that Cam Newton couldn't have won that game?
He probably would have fumbled.
You
Being
are
honest,
so disrespectful. He would not have fumbled. All right. You were so disrespectful. No. And even though Kyle Allen may be a slightly better thrower of the football, which I'm still not completely bought into his arm, Kyle Allen missed some throws as well as made some throws, but he missed some throws that I know Cam Newton would make. There was a time where Greg Olsen was running a route. He hooked it, and Kyle Allen completely overthrew it. He just completely threw it right in front of him. And it was that miscommunication between him. And you can't tell me that Cam Newton wouldn't have hit that pass because him and Greg Olsen have been playing for years together. I don't know why Greg Olsen turned against him and said that, oh, Kyle Allen's our quarterback, which you can't tell me that they aren't turning on Cam. We went into that in a previous video. I think that Cam has been sabotaged and he's done in Carolina, unfortunately. But you can't tell me that Cam Newton wouldn't have hit that throw over the middle to Greg Olsen when they have a complete and have had such a great chemistry over the years that they've played together. So you can't tell me that he wouldn't hit that pass. And it was a key missed throw. And so I'm still not bought into Kyle Allen. That was one of my first takeaways, was that if we have Cam Newton, we win that football game. Or at least take it to overtime. Because we still would have had to hit the 2-point conversion. And we still would have only had it tied, and it would have went into overtime. So who knows what would have happened in overtime. But I believe that Cam Newton could have won that game for us. All right, if he was fully healthy with his shoulder, he would have won that game for us, because I've seen him throw in that offense when he was healthy, and we were winning football games, and he was doing better than Kyle Allen was. So you can't tell me that we wouldn't have tied that game up with Cam. And then we look at the Packers side of it. Man, I think Aaron Jones is the star of this Packers football team. I think they have to run it to win the championship. If they want to get to their
but
championship aspirations, I think they have to run it with Aaron Jones. When you look at how Aaron Rodgers played, 7 of 29 for 233 yards, 8 yards per attempt, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a 40.3 QBR. That's not bad, but that's not
crazy.
great. But when you look at Aaron Jones, only 13 carries for 93 yards, 3 touchdowns. We as a Panthers defense, I watched the game and we had no answer for Aaron Jones. So I believe Aaron Jones is a bona fide star and he is the leader of this football team. What are your thoughts on that?
All right. So my main takeaway from the Panthers side of this thing is if y'all make the playoffs as a wild card, and that's a if
Yeah, that's a
y'all
big
are gonna
if, and I
bounce
don't think that's
bounce
gonna
first
happen.
round. Y'all will get bounced because
Probably.
Christmas
I
can't
would
do it
I
back.
would I would love to argue with you about it and say, oh, how the Panthers are gonna come through. But I don't have any confidence in our team. Our defense isn't the same. We aren't able to stop the run. Uh, Luke Kuechly does not look like the same linebacker. He looks like he's starting to come of age. And Kyle Allen, bottom line, can't get it done. He is a bona fide game manager. He's going to dink and dunk to Christian McCaffrey. And as long as Christian McCaffrey does well, our team will do pretty well. But if he doesn't, then we're screwed. Plain and simple.
True. At this point, if y'all not gonna use Will Greer, y'all could give him to us for like a fifth rounder. He could be Drew. You
No,
know what I'm saying? All right.
no,
Besides that,
no.
besides that, okay, you said Aaron Jones might be the star, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. But you can't forget, everyone is planning for Aaron Rodgers and his core wide receivers. They're not game planning for Aaron Jones. Although Aaron Jones has been playing good, I'm not going to about that. But we can't forget that Aaron Rodgers makes timely, great throws when he needs to be great. Like that throw to Devontae Adams, the corner was smothered on him. Aaron Rodgers placed the ball right behind his back, put it right there, and I think they're first and goal on like the 6, and Aaron Jones scores. Like we can't like forget, like although the stats may not back it up, like he may not have his touchdowns or his yards or anything like that. Aaron Rodgers makes some timely throws, some throws that only him and I think just him, only throws that he can make. And like, although the stats won't back that up, if you watch the game, he made some great throws. I watched that
He
game all
did.
the way through, make some timely, great throws.
He did. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm not trying to say Aaron Rodgers is horrible. Not by no means am I saying that Aaron Rodgers is horrible. All right,
I won't.
I was we were literally talking about him being in the MVP conversation just a few weeks ago. All right, so nobody is trying to hate over here on Aaron Rodgers. All right, he's still great, but we look at it and we look at it how we look at Tom Brady. All right, that's how I look at it. He's starting
Oh
to come of
Lord.
age. No, not at the point that Tom Brady is right now, but in the past, how we looked at older Tom Brady. All right, Tom Brady was not producing as far as stats goes like he used to be, and he would still at times make those timely great throws like last year in the Super Bowl, right? But he was
Yeah.
not the leader of the team. Remember, we were arguing. I think both of us were arguing, but especially me. I was arguing he was not the leader of that football team. The defense and Sony Michel in the running game was the leader of that team. All right, that's why they won. And that played itself out in the Super Bowl as the defense held the Rams to 3 points and Sony Michel got it done on the ground, right? So we have to look at it the same way with the Packers, how we looked at it with the Patriots. I think that Aaron Jones is the leader of this team because he is the one who's consistently coming in, game out, and producing, whether it's on the ground or through the air. All right, whether he's catching the ball out of the backfield or running the ball. With Aaron Rodgers, it's a week to week basis. Sometimes he plays great, sometimes he plays average, and sometimes he plays bad. All right. But with Aaron Jones, it's almost a consistent thing. When they give him enough carries, he gets it done. I mean, can you dispute that? I mean, that's how I look
No,
at it.
you can't. Yeah. That's a great point. That's a great point. I have no counter argument.
I mean, I still believe Aaron Rodgers can get it done, but again, it's just like Tom Brady was last year and in the previous years, where he's not always going to be there for you. All right, when you get to that level of age, you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have your up games where you still look like the star that you were in the past, and then in other games you're going to look down. You're going to look like, oh, does he still have it? And so Aaron Jones, I was about to say Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Jones is a consistent, and that's when you look at the leader of a football team, you need him to be consistent. And that's what I think Aaron Jones is, and that's why I think he is a bona fide star. And if it weren't for his lack of carries, I think he could be potentially in the MVP conversation instead of Christian McCaffrey. But he's not getting Christian McCaffrey touches, right? He's only getting 13 carries, whereas Christian McCaffrey in this game had 20 carries. You know, so that's what
Yeah.
I think. It's kind of a similar situation to compare it to college. I don't want to be a biased Clemson fan, but it's kind of like how we do with Travis Etienne. I mean, we
Hmm.
we give him a limited amount of carries, but when he does carry the ball, he's bringing the wood. He is completely producing for our team. And while I don't necessarily think he's the leader of our team, because I think Trevor Lawrence has emerged again as the leader of the football team to talk about Clemson, I don't think it's a completely one-to-one comparison, but it just reminds me of that because Aaron Jones, it looks like you know, they don't give him enough carries. They don't. I think that they should be giving him about 20 carries a game, and then we could really see what this man can do. And I think he can produce. I think he could give you a ton of yards if you give him the carries. But if you like this video, hit the like button, and also if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and also click the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a stream.